Joining us now is OjyO, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinex.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Thank God it's Friday.
Did you know it's my favorite day of the week? How are you this morning?
Good
morning, Ayra. How are you?
Fast becoming my favorite day of the week.
Is it? Okay, yeah. Well, you are still owing me that dance. Remember that?
Yeah.
Should we do it this weekend? Maybe
It's a Grammy weekend.
It's a Grammy weekend.
If our person wins,
yes,
we'll do the dance.
you are too smart. We're missing Rufai.
Yeah.
The three musketeers you all have to be on the show to make it perfect. We're missing Rufai. Today we are doing something special. The 66th Annual Grammy Awards, taking place in Los Angeles, California on Sunday, February 4th, marks the first time the Best African Performance category will be included, and 5 Nigerians made the list. Drum roll. Let's pull them up. All right, we have Davido for his hit single, Unavailable. We also have Burna Boy for City Boys. I mean, this one made headlines. Then we also have Asake and Olamide for Amapiano. And finally, the woman on the list, drumroll, Ayra Starr for her hit single, Rush. Now, we would like our viewers to vote in on our poll on our website at arise.tv and via our Twitter handle at Arise TV. Ayo, they're not the only ones that made the list. We also had Fireboy DML, who earned a Grammy nomination in the Album of the Year category for his contributions to John Baptiste's World Music Radio. What can we say? Congratulations to all our nominees. And you know, me, I have a favorite. So I've already started voting. Let's see if that person will win, and that will be Davido for Unavailable. Let's pull up Davido Unavailable real quickly, and then I'll ask you guys who you think made that list, if we have Davido.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
Dr. Abati, we are putting you on the spot. Please teach us the Unavailable dance move. How does it go? Guys, camera to Dr. Abati real quick. Let's get it. You know today is Friday. You are joining us on...
Where is the music?
Where is the music? Okay. I'm unavailable. Yeah, he did it. Okay, who's your favorite? Real quick.
Well, it's difficult to choose because, you know, it's quite exciting.
Yes.
To see that Nigerians are there.
Yes, absolutely.
They have Asake, they have Davido, whom you have mentioned, they have Ayra Starr. As far as I'm concerned, I think I saw Olamide also.
Yes,
Amapiano.
Amapiano.
So any one of them that wins, it will be a big achievement for Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And I think that now that Grammy has included, best African musical performance this year. It's a tribute to the success of Afrobeats.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, African music now has become global. You have Nigerian artists from South Africa. There's a South African artist there, Tila, Water, right?
Water, yes, I love
all
that.
of them, you know, making the Billboard Hot 100 and collaborating with the best in the world. Look, you go to a party in Nigeria now. The other day, I was at a birthday party. You know, a gentleman who turned 54. You know, a very committed Nigerian who has naturalized here and who is a very strong member of our community.
There?
I was there. It was a birthday party. Then you see, the whole night, the music that was played, they were playing the music of Nigerian artists. And everybody was excited. They were dancing. Now, in those old days, when we used to do disco, in those days when we used to go for disco, it used to be foreign music. Now you can just have music, Nigerian music throughout the night, and you get all the right beats. You can have music, you know, back to back, and videos showing on the screen. So it's a lot of achievement, and people like Davido, Ayra Starr, the youngest of them all, Olamide, Asake, they are our great ambassadors. Whoever wins, the victory is for the collective.
Absolutely.
The victory is for the Nigerian, creative economy, creative industry. So that's why I'm reluctant to say I will choose one person.
No, Dr. Abati.
Yes.
I just said to you, we are doing something special. We already have a poll, so you have to pick. Because we have to put you on the spot, so pick.
Okay,
because this way
the poll is already online.
It's online right now.
I'll go and vote there.
Oh, okay, you don't want to tell us, okay.
I just want to encourage all of them.
But make sure you
Close
vote.
ballot
Go ahead, close ballot. We are asking for open ballot voting.
All right,
Open ballot, go ahead. Because it's open there.
congratulations to Nigeria. OjyO, we need our spot of good news.
Absolutely.
We need something
I love
because
it.
I was saying during the newspaper headlines that it seems like it was a tale of woes.
Yes.
Let's have something good. Let
Love
the
it.
Super Eagles bring home the AFCON
Yeah.
Cup. Let our musicians go home on the global stage and bring home the award. It's ours, by the way. Apologies to Tila. He's not going to South Africa. Now, in terms of who my choice is,
Yes,
of
your
course,
choice.
I'm going for the woman on the team.
I love you, Ayra.
Ayra Starr.
Yay.
I'm rooting for the woman on that
Always
list.
rooting
A
for
woman
women.
amongst men. Well, okay,
Absolutely.
Tila is there, but I mean our Nigerian
Correct.
contingent.
Correct.
And she was with us on the Christmas special edition. And you just had to fall in love with her.
Absolutely.
She's smart, she's focused, she's goal-oriented, and she has such a pleasant personality and very talented. Congratulations to all of them, but Ayra Starr, bring it home.
Ayo, you're doing very well. We're waiting for you. Well, I voted Davido. I'm just going to click quickly on our polls right now. And guess who is leading on Arise.tv at this moment?
Who's leading?
Davido, of course, Unavailable. Well, we're charging you guys. If you guys want to beat my vote, go on Arise.tv as well as on our Twitter handle at Arise TV. At the end of the show, we'll find out who's leading again.
Yeah, it's okay.
Charging you guys. Go online right now. Well, all right, let's continue on what's trending. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated the President and Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, on the award of the National Order of the Lion by President Macky Sall of Senegal. The award, which is the highest order of Senegal, will be bestowed on the foremost businessman today, February 2nd, in Senegal. President Tinubu applauds the industrialist for his enterprise and ingenuity, creating jobs and opportunities for many in Nigeria and across West Africa, as well as contributing to their economies, which the award further affirms. Well, billionaire businessman and the new chairman of First Bank Holdings PLC, Otedola, has also congratulated his best friend, Aliko Dangote, for the award. Taking to Instagram, Otedola posted a congratulatory message. I mean, congratulations are in order. That's the post on Femi Otedola's Instagram. Really quickly, Dr. Abati, I know you didn't have time to chat on this.
Yes, congratulations to Aliko Dangote.
Yes.
One of the most influential persons
More good news from Nigeria.
in the year. The richest man in Africa,
Absolutely.
the biggest industrialist in West Africa, one of the major investors in Africa. And so it should be no surprise that he's been recognized in Senegal. In his own home country, he holds one of the highest titles, national honors, GCON. And now in Senegal, he's also getting, the highest honor conferred on him. Countries don't give their topmost honors to people who are not important in terms of their contributions. And it can be said of Aliko Dangote that with his, Dangote conglomerate, that would be the appropriate word, which is in more than 5 countries across Africa, which is a major employer of labor across Africa. A man like him truly deserves to be honored. And it's not only Senegal that has honored him, as I pointed out, Nigeria has honored him. And this is what we want, you know, how to use wealth, entrepreneurship, to promote the common good, emphasis on the common good, using wealth to wield society together and to move the cause of humanity. All those people who make money and go and hide their stolen billions of dollars at the detriment of society and at the detriment of everybody should learn from the example of the likes of Aliko Dangote, who invest in community, who create jobs across borders to create opportunities for the multitudes. So congratulations to him. Well, I don't want to say it has implications. He's far away in Senegal. We may not get the implications. Don't worry.
I'm not finding that funny.
I'm not saying he's not capable. I'm saying this is in Senegal. Anyway, congratulations to you. Don't do long truth. You will not get any implications from all the way from Senegal.
I think this is fairness across board.
Yes.
You don't exempt anybody from implications. I don't.
Absolutely.
No.
And what's up? Africa's richest man. Come on,
Exactly.
he's up to the task. Implications.
You just want to
everywhere.
put him on the spot.
Well, all right. Congratulations, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. We'll take another story. As the crisis in the foreign exchange market in Nigeria continues, a 2016 video of an interview by former President Muhammadu Buhari explaining why he declined to implement a free float of the Naira despite international pressure has surfaced online. Buhari spoke to Al Jazeera. Let's take a look.
A chorus of voices calling on you to devalue the Naira, to allow market forces to prevail. Are you prepared to reconsider?
No. I have explained that countries that play around with their currencies are countries that have enormous production capacity. They have factories in place. Their infrastructure in terms of power, communications, and security are virtually perfect. Nigeria virtually imports everything, from rice to toothpick. Now, if we don't have the money to import those things, what is the value of further developing our Naira?
Well, you're going against the advice of the IMF.
Why not?
The IMF is suggesting
If it is
that
against our national interest, why can't we go against the IMF advice?
going back to your policy on the freezing of the value of the Naira, you've opened up effectively a vast new area of corruption in terms of the parallel market. The black market is so different. So many people who've been allocated the foreign exchange, which is a narrow group of privileged and elites, are then often selling on that currency on the black market and therefore making a huge amount of money. Another window of corruption has opened up. And this, of course, goes against one of the main tenets of your presidency.
I agree with you, but we are going to check that, and we are going to apply sanctions for anybody that was given hard currency, dollars, officially by the central bank, to go and import essential raw material, for example, for pharmaceuticals. And then because he can make 100 Naira more by going to parallel market and selling it, we'll pursue them and we'll furnish them.
All right. Ayo, Buhari there in 2016 explaining the reason why he refused to float the Naira. I mean, this has been an argument since President Tinubu basically caved into IMF pressure on, floating the Naira or not. But you could hear him there. And I think his point, which is really what we've been hampering on, is to increase our production. Why go with the IMF if you're going to go against the interest of Nigeria?
Wow, it's a catch-22 situation because on one hand, President Buhari was heavily criticized for his position, especially by economists, because a number of people, including, as you mentioned, the IMF, the World Bank, had recommended very strongly that the way forward for the economy of Nigeria was to float the Naira. However, he does make some very salient points, which is that countries who do this have infrastructure in place.
Yes.
In fact, they're almost perfect.
Absolutely.
They have power, they have communication facilities, they have roads, they have things that would, this productivity you're talking about would provide an enabling environment to be a productive and production-driven nation. And Nigeria hadn't gotten there yet. However, my criticism of that is that this interview was done in 2016. He had just come into his first term in office. So he had 8 years to deal with the issues he had identified. So he didn't say floating the Naira was bad. It was the circumstances under which you float the Naira, which is still being criticized here 8 years later in 2020, 9 years later now, 2024. So the conversation that has been spoken about is he had the opportunity in his time in office to at least develop areas of infrastructure. He didn't do that, leaving us in a worse economic state than we were when he first took office. And then the reason why, as some people have used the word caved in, to the recommendations of the IMF because of where we were, and we needed monies from these organizations to boost the economy. We needed inflow of dollars. We needed some of their loans, their humanitarian efforts they were doing. So that's why I mentioned at the beginning the catch-22 situation. But I wish that he had used the opportunity following this interview, whilst not floating the Naira at the time, but to develop our infrastructure so we would get to a point where we would be able to float the Naira.
You said it well, Ayra. Develop infrastructure, put infrastructure in place, and that's what we are lacking at this point. I mean, there was also that criticism of, tackling the corruption of the, foreign exchange. Dr. Abati.
Are we now in such a terribly desperate situation that we now have to be digging up interviews by President Buhari to have some reflections on the state of the Nigerian economy?
Absolutely. The dollar and the Naira ratio right now, 1,400
what
to the
dollar. What pops up
in
my head was a statement by President Obasanjo when he was assessing the Buhari administration. Yeah. And he said, well, President Buhari was going about saying he would deal with security, he would deal with economy, he would deal with corruption. But I was convinced at a certain point that President Buhari knew nothing about the economy. And that is precisely why we are in this mess today.
Absolutely.
That is just the summary of it. All this talk about, he talked about productivity, infrastructure, and for national interest. Every government should act in national interest. That's the whole basis of a public service. You are not supposed to act in your personal interest. So saying that doesn't mean anything. And when you say, IMF has nothing to say in the matter, well, when these same countries who criticize the IMF and the World Bank, when they get into trouble, they run to IMF and World Bank agencies to ask for money. And when you run your economy aground and, you become insolvent or you cannot meet your payments, you run to the same IMF as Ghana did. And if you do, they will give you conditions because the money is not for you to go and spend on jollof rice and pepper soup. It's for actual developmental purposes. Look, we should now look forward. What can the Tinubu administration do to solve the problem? All the Tinubu economists, the Minister of Finance, and the coordinating minister of the economy, the central bank of the governor, or the central bank governor, they've all come forward to say what they inherited from the Buhari administration was terrible. They didn't mind the fact that they are members of the same political party. What we should be focusing on is what is the way forward? How do we solve the problem of the Naira? This productivity that they are talking about, how do we do it? Rather than all these episodic policies that they will just use to grab headlines and 2-3 weeks, 1 month down the line, we'll start lamenting again that the policies have not worked. That is the way I see the matter. Not he said this, he said that. Okay, where has it left us?
This is where it has left us. This is where we are now. We are exchanging Naira to the dollar, 1,400 in the parallel market. I mean, we got some good news today, but like you said, it sounds like almost like a hoax. But this is what it is. This is where we are going. We need to improve on our production exports. Well, let's head over to Kaduna State now, where Isa Mazu, an 11-year-old Almajiri, who was brutalized by his Islamic scholar, has been rescued by the governor of the state, Uba Sani. The horrific video of Mazu, who is an indigene of Kaduna State, surfaced online after he was tortured by his teacher, Malam Nura, in Niger State. In the video, Mazu said his teacher flogged him, leaving massive wounds at his back because he could not do his studies properly. Uba Sani, who received Mazu at the government house on Tuesday, said that there is no part of the Quran which says underage children should be tortured in a dehumanizing manner, and that criminal charges will be filed against the Islamic teacher who was caught on camera flogging the student. Uba Sani added that a directive has been issued for all children who are indigenes of Kaduna to be sent back home from Almajiri schools in Niger State. I mean, this was a horrific video. I am very happy that he has been rescued at this point, and I thought it was important that the Kaduna State governor, intervened in that manner. And actually ordered all the students to come back to the state. I believe they're going to begin a new form of study there. And I think it is so important to educate these people about this dehumanizing manner. Why are they using the Quran in that fashion, Ayo?
I mean, even beyond the fact that it was in the school, a religious school, is the fact that we see child abuses prevalent in certain schools without going largely, in some cases, unchecked. It's important to mention that the Kaduna State passed the Child Protection Welfare Bill in 2018, and so there is a law in place to protect the welfare of children in Kaduna State. And I hope that the governor, in his commitment, will take on the full metal of the law against that teacher, not just as a punishment, but as a deterrent to others who might want to toe, that line. Let's protect our children. Let's keep them. Let's ensure that they're going to school, and when they go to school, the people who are meant to protect them do not turn around to become to become perpetrators of abuse.
Absolutely. Kudos, really. Well, in the meantime, actress Simi Gold has been convicted and sentenced to 6 months in prison for defacing the Naira. The actress was arrested in February 2023 after a video surfaced showing her spraying and stepping on the Naira notes at a party. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission stated that her actions violated Section 21 of the CBN Act of 2007. The actress was given an option of a 300,000 Naira fine to be deposited into the Consolidated Revenue account of the Federation. I mean, I hope she's able to come up with that money. But, this is a good lesson. We have been talking about, defacing the Naira notes for a while now. Dr. Abati, you weren't here when we took a story of an Ogun monarch, a monarch from your state. He was spraying Wasiu Ayinde Marshall. And it was a new level of spraying. Do you know that monarch? Do we have that video? Yeah, there he is. That's that video. I mean, they did warn him. Maybe he wasn't aware at the time. But, this is a jailable offense, Dr. Abati.
Well, this happens all the time.
Yeah.
I've been saying it, that it's a felony. And it's good that an example has been made of the actress. Now, when you step on the Naira, you deface it, you spray it, what is called Naira plunking, or you sell it, even selling the Naira as a commodity. These are offenses under the law. But that section of the law has almost ended up like the law on bigamy because it is not enforced. And because it is not, when a law is not enforced, it becomes a dead law. So what you have also seen here is the dilemma we face. Yeah, she was guilty of spraying and stepping on 100,000 Naira. She will just pay 300,000 Naira to get away. So the law itself is not really a very strong law as such. Another judge would not have given the option of fine. Another judge would have said, oh, you do 6 months, go and serve time for abusing the Naira. But for cultural reasons, when our people have parties, from traditional rulers to many of these boys with famous names, what they do for a living, we do not know. Those ones that carry guns, those ones that go to parties, they will carry a whole bundle of 1,000 Naira notes. They will just throw it like this. And you keep wondering, do these people wake up the same way we do in the morning to go to work, to go and work, or there is a place that is unknown to us where you can just wake up and collect money so that weekend you go to any party and you two just throw money. Is that how they throw it? And if you hold the gun, you just do like
I've seen the gun.
There's a song for that. I mean, it became so popular.
Yes.
Flavor sang Bola for them.
Yes. How much is money?
How much is money?
Look, we're not a serious country.
Yeah.
Because money, people come about money just anyhow. They don't value it. In some other countries of the world, money is valued. Nobody spends it anyhow. But here you see people throwing money. So it's also about culture. It's also about the mentality of the people. In fact, sometimes I think some of those people who throw Naira like that, sometimes I ask myself whether they have psychiatric problems. It's not impossible. Because if you work hard for your money, you will not be throwing it as if you are throwing paper. And then they will start dancing on top of the money. The police should be more vigilant. They should go to such parties and arrest the people.
Absolutely.
Lock them up and take them to court. By the time you take more people to court under the relevant law, you see that people will adjust.
Yes.
They will look at that traditional ruler. He went and sold the Nigerian national currency into like a chain.
Did he so? I thought it was like taped together.
Was it? He stapled it together, or was it?
Yeah, it was stapled, and then he was
still abused.
Yes,
that's not what the money is meant for. Look at that.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, I'm glad that we have highlighted the story. But what is the proper way?
But I think they said the traditional ruler apologized.
Yeah, because he was warned. They told him not to.
He issued a statement.
Yeah, they told him not to have done that.
The state should have rejected the apology. They should have put him in the dock
so
that he doesn't try it again.
What is the proper way of spraying money? I mean, should they spray money or not? I've seen some people, they just come with the bundles and they put it beside
during COVID.
Yeah.
Must you spray money?
No,
if you have money to
culture. You can't just do it.
So we're back to square one.
No, they say don't step on it, don't spray it. But I mean, there's a way you can give it, isn't it? Or even electronic transfer or whatever it is.
No, where's the show? How do you know? Event planners came up with an idea during COVID because then, during the scarcity of Naira.
Yeah.
And so what they did was that they had dummy pieces of paper that represented, and you go and exchange value for it at the end of the event.
Yeah.
So you weren't actually spraying the Naira.
Yes.
You were spraying just like in music videos, how you print, but not the currency itself, just piece of paper that says, I owe you, like an IOU sheet. Maybe we should explore that, since we cannot stop ourselves from spraying money and no transfers.
Yes, right.
The whole idea.
No transfers. Before we take our final story, I just want your take quickly on the Almajiri system of study. I mean, the fact that the Kaduna state governor did, request that, these students should come back to their state. I believe it's a Sangaya system that he wants to introduce now in Kaduna state.
Well,
Really
first
quickly.
on the matter, I mean, no child should be abused. That's why we have the Child Rights Act, which has now been domesticated in all the 36 states. At the time, it was about 24 states or so, but later 34. And now I think all the states have the rules. So it's good that the governor of Kaduna State says he will intervene. The Almajiri system, the Jonathan administration tried to upgrade it, build schools that will accommodate both the Western way of education and the Quranic education, so that both could be side by side. And that project was located in the north, in the northern part of the country. And those northern governors at that time were supposed to collaborate with the federal government to take it from there. I wonder what the state of those Almajiri special schools will be today, because there was no follow-up. There was no continuity. All these governors, they just go there, they spend their 8 years, and that's okay. They've achieved their ambition, and they go away. It's a system that can be modernized. Nobody is saying the traditional system of education is wrong, but can it be conducted in a manner, that it is within the mainstream?
Right.
This is the challenge.
Right. Congratulations to the Governor Uba Sani for that measure, as well as we pray for good rehabilitation for the young student. We shall take our final story on the sports by congratulating Super Falcons striker Ashisat Osola, who has been signed by American club BFC. The 29-year-old, who was named African Women's Footballer of the Year for his 6th time in September, signed the deal with the National Women's Soccer League team till 2026, with the option of a 3rd year. Oshola has won 4 league titles, the Champions League twice, and 8 domestic cups during 5 years in Spain, where she had 5 months to run on her contract with the Catalan club. She was the first African woman to win a Champions League title in 2021, having already become the first African woman to score in a final in 2019.
I got paranoid and got this lady.
All right, congratulations. I mean, great news today on the show. We have
This is the real Agbabola.
Agbabola, yeah.
This is the real one.
The real Agbabola, fantastic. Well, all right, before we end What's Trending, shall we announce our polls so far? Guess who's winning?
Ayra Starr?
Sorry, it's Davido. You guys are doing it. He is winning by 63%. Ayra Starr by 8%. Please, women, go up there and vote for our Ayra Starr.
To promote your favorite.
Well, I can show you. It's true. Go on the website right now. But you know what? We'll get the final, option or the final winner by Sunday after the Grammys. Our fingers crossed. Kudos to all our winners. 6 of you, congratulations on the Grammy. We wish you all good luck. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all next week.